Hello and welcome to St Ignatius History and Archaeology News Podcast, the show where we bring you the latest historical findings and news from archaeological digs.
This show is important because although history is a study of the past, historians and archaeologists are still working hard each day to piece together exactly what happened all those years ago.
A person without knowledge of history is like a tree without roots. We are here to fill you in about the past and show that there is always more to discover.
Historians and archaeologists can help us understand where we have come from and help us learn from any mistakes to help us create a better future. That's why we are excited to share with you some of the most recent findings about World War II.
Although World War II happened relatively recently and is within living memory, we are still making discoveries that give us more and more detail. This week, we're thinking about how it's not always professional archaeologists who help us piece the past back together. Sometimes Londoners can do this job just by taking a stroll along the Thames. That's right, the entire history of Britain can be told from items washed up on the foreshore of the River Thames.
Objects from the past continue to wash up on the shore of Thames, especially World War II objects.
Mudlarking.
The Thames is rich in small historical objects. It's not only about the quantity, but the quality of these objects that makes Thames finds so important for understanding the past. Many of the objects in the Museum of London were found along the River Thames.
These objects teach us about the past, and finding objects that belong to real people make history seem more real.
You need to have a license to search for objects on the Thames.
And in other countries, it is illegal to use metal detectors and dig up objects from the past.
Do you think it should be against the law?
I think you should be able to do it, but with a license, because you shouldn't go on private property and just destroy random things.
I think that it should be legal to go digging, but you have to have a license because some of the objects might be dangerous.
I don't think it should be allowed because then people could just go down to the beach and get objects for themselves and try and make money off it instead of handing it to the museum.
I think that archaeologists should go by themselves and do it because if they have a license, they are fully trained and they'll know how to do it instead of other people doing it by themselves.
Now it's over to Ethan for more headline stories for elsewhere in archaeology news.
A World War II bunker has been discovered in September 2021.
That's right, a Roman courtyard has been unearthed by archaeologists at the site of a World War II bunker, which was built inside the remains of a Roman tower.
The Alderney nunnery was found to have been used by German soldiers during the occupation of the Channel Islands.
It is now thought this Roman fort was refurbished by the British in 1793. Further work was carried out by the German military in World War II.
An archaeologist said the Germans inserted their Type 501 bunker neatly into the tower's ruins, using the north and south internal walls effectively as to pour their concrete.
Unfortunately, they dug out the entire interior of the tower to do this, destroying any evidence for internal structures or floors. This would have helped us to understand. Dig Alderney said it planned to return to the Alderney nunnery in spring 2022 to learn more about the medieval and Tudor history of the site.
That's all we've got time for this week, but keep your eyes on the news because archaeologists are always digging up new objects. This is especially true in Britain right now. All the digging involved in our new HS2 railways means that many historical objects are being found. Until next time.